This video is for you if you're a founder or sales leader at a B2B company doing over 500K plus in annual recurring revenue, and you're looking to build a new channel to essentially drive more leads top of funnel and get more meetings booked with your ideal customers. So you've probably heard a lot about Clay in terms of the things that are possible with it, the intent signals, the playbooks, the list building, and all the automations that you can build out with the platform. But there's a caveat to a lot of this, is that there's a lot of stuff that doesn't directly tie into generating revenue from the platform. And we found two winning playbooks that have worked for a ton of our customers and for ourselves, where we actively find customers in the market for your services using intent signals that actually work. And we drive your offering over an outbound campaign and essentially generate that top of funnel interest to get interested leads and get meetings booked with your ideal customer profile. And the way it essentially works is I'm going to be walking you through it over here. So let's just go into Clay. The first thing that you want to do once you're in your workspace is this playbook is their recently hired campaign. This is where you target anyone that is pretty new to the company. So this could be like a CFO at a company or like a new HR person or a sales leader. And the reason you want to do this is that usually when new hires come into the company, they're looking for new initiatives or new tools to put into their tech stack. And they're looking to cut down on stuff that they might be doing or looking at new projects or essentially new services that could help them with their role and their task at hand. So the way you want to do this is you go to find people over here and let's just search for, let's say we're looking for all newly hired CFOs. So you put in job title, Chief Financial Officer. And then you go to experience and you'd say anyone that's between, over here you can filter for the months in current role and we can say 0 to 2 months. And then based on their LinkedIn experience, it's automatically going to filter that over here. And then we can filter it further over here with the location. So let's just put United States. And then we can, what you can also do is that you can build a filter to like look at a certain number of accounts. So if there's 1,000 accounts and you want to track if anyone like leaves the company or recently a new person that joins the company, you can track them and then build a signal to like push it into like Salesforce, HubSpot, Slack to notify you whenever somebody does join a company for like certain like target accounts that you might be tracking for. But these are just any ones that are actively have been in a role for between 0 to 2 months, and it's going to filter for those within the US. So let's just press continue over here. And it's going to give us a list of people that we can. So there's 50 CFOs within the US recently hired in the past couple of months that we can reach out to. You can filter it for further with Sculptor. So Sculptor is basically like ChatGPT within Clay. So if you're new to Clay and you pretty much don't know how to build out like the rows and columns, what you can do is you can prompt it to tell it to like find me the valid emails for all leads in this list. And then it's going to basically automatically run the filter for you. So it does pretty much all the hard work that you would need to learn and pretty much automates it. So if you can see over here, it's running that, and we're going to get all the valid emails for the CFOs that recently got hired. And the way you want to think about the messaging for this campaign is it will be along the lines of like, hi, first name, congrats on the new role over at company name. Sorry, probably looking at new initiatives to help you with the workload. And then like, of course, this depends on your offering and how you want to position it. And of course, the benefits in terms of like whatever you do with your value proposition, saving time or revenue, cutting costs. And then you can tie it into that with the messaging and then pitch your services. Ideally, you have a lead magnet up front and like a front end offer developed where you are providing value. So what I mean by that is there's a lot of noises in inboxes these days. So the only way to stand out for certain services where you're still testing and finding message market fit is developing front end offers. So this could be a part of your service that you can give for free or something valuable to an end customer, like a case study deck, an ROI calculator, a part of your service for free, like a building out an automation for them, a pilot, a trial, or anything that your customers might charge for, as Hormozy says. And then you can put that into your campaign, and it's almost guaranteed to work, especially if you have a strong follow-up process. But over here, we can see you can, as soon as you prompt it in Sculptor, it'll build the column for you. So we can add the column to the table, and now it's going to find the valid work email for all of these titles. Then you can push this automatically. Clay has a sequencer, but I'd recommend using either smartlead.ai or instantly.ai. And then you can push these leads into that campaign from the API on Clay. So it's going to waterfall it over here to try and find, it's going to search like 10 different providers to try and find one valid email. So you get a lot of coverage with this. And then you can pretty much push this into like an Outreach or Instantly or Smart Lead, whatever sequencer that you are using to send out email campaigns. But this pretty much gives you the end-to-end process to filter for recently hired decision makers and then run that campaign. This was the first playbook that I wanted to show. And the second one is basically a playbook that's worked well for us to generate a lot of leads for our customers and ourselves, is finding people that are following a certain company on LinkedIn. So this could either be a competitor, a direct competitor, or this could be a tool that someone might be following that may indicate an interest in your services that might be part of their tech stack, or really depends on your ideal customer profile. But the only caveat to this is that you want to have at least 10,000 LinkedIn followers for the company page, because only around like 3 to like that 10 percentage range is ICP that are going to be following that company on LinkedIn. And a lot of the other people are just like people with no decision-making power, or people looking for jobs that are following the LinkedIn page. So ideally, you want to have a big following, more than 10K plus. And the way you would do this is that you would just take, like, let's say, for example, like RB2B here. I would use this as a tool for my own services, because anyone following this would be interested in running outbound campaigns and generating leads. So we'd just take the link over here, and I'd recommend going to following.co. So they script these leads pretty fast. And what you need to do is just put in the URL and then tell them the number of leads you want. And then it'll calculate the cost, and then you'd submit order. It usually takes around like 48 to 72 hours. And you can download the CSV directly from here. You would take that CSV and you would go to sources in Clay and then import the CSV. So I've already done it here, so I can walk you through it. So these are the variables it gives you when you scrape from that tool following.co. It gives you the first name, last name, job title, the couple of personal emails, but you want to find the work email first, and then the phone number, the personal LinkedIn URL, the company name, and the domain. The domain might be missing for some of them, so we ran a flow over here to try and find the website for the missing ones. And then we try to find out all competitors to us to make sure we're not reaching out to anyone else that is a lead generation agency. And then we filtered for all B2B companies. And then we sent it to a table over here where we found the emails, we normalized the company name, we found the emails with the waterfall, and we filtered for it with Million Verifier to find valid emails. And then we filtered for all the catch-alls with Bounce Ban. And then we pushed it into our sequencer instantly.ai. The messaging for this, so the way you want to think about this exact play over here is you can either explicitly mention that you notice them following the page, or you can implicitly mention it in the email. So both ways work. Usually I would recommend doing it implicitly if it's a massive company. So like, let's say like Clay per se, or like Zoom Info, or if it's a massive like HubSpot. But if it's a direct competitor, you'd be like, hi, first name, notice you are following X competitor on LinkedIn. We offer something similar, but this is how we're different. Like you'd mentioned like the value prop, like we're 80% more cost effective. We can reduce your cost by 40% more. We can give you X ROI with our services, and then mention a case study, and then preferably have like a lead magnet about like, hey, can I share a video on how this works? Can I show you the exact system on how we would build out this for you? Or would you be interested in running a pilot with us? This works time and time again. This is one of the best plays you can run. And you're almost guaranteed to generate leads from this play if you have a good enough differentiator with your competitor, and a good front end offer on the email that you're sending out in terms of offering them a lead magnet or something informational that's actually valuable and will make it hard for the decision maker to say no. But this is pretty much the play that you can run. If you are looking to build out these plays and are looking to run some outbound campaigns, we do that for all B2B companies if you are doing more than 500K plus an annual recurring revenue. And we're running free pilots right now. So if you want to run a free cold email outbound campaign with us using one of these plays that we've discussed here or other playbooks that we have worked with other B2B customers, feel free to use the link in the description below to book a meeting with us, and we'll audit your current outbound strategy, build out a free lead list for you, and run a free campaign for you. And if that generates leads top of funnel, you just know the system's going to work and it just becomes scalable for you. So if you're looking into Clay or are looking to generate more leads and run outbound campaigns, feel free to book a meeting with us. And yeah, hope you found this useful.